we ought to think about seeing the resurrection like that, as a parable. The resurrection as a parable. Because if you see it as a parable, you don't have to ask whether it was factual or not. You don't have to get concerned with whether Jesus was bodily raised or if he was spiritually raised or if it was mostly a metaphor. Instead, you have to ask yourself the really important question, which is, what does it mean? And so you see, the question is the same as at the end of the Gospel of Mark. Where is Jesus and what does it mean? And I think as Christians, that's something that we're called to ask ourselves all the time. But I can give you my interpretation. I think that where Jesus is ought to be in our lives. That what does the resurrection mean ought to be answered with our lives. It ought to be that Jesus lives in those places where we are working for peace, where we are working for transformation, where we are working for justice. And where we do those things, where we are the hands and feet of Christ out in the world, He lives, He is there. You see, that's the purpose of resurrection.